Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Um, I am so happy to see you, so happy to be here. So, uh, Eli was going to do tonight, and he had an emergency with ICE. He's a ICE verifier. I know many of us are ICE verifiers right now. And so just as I was getting ready to come here, my phone was blowing up, and ICE and Border Patrol are on their way uh, to my area as well. And and this is the situation we're in now. Um, I am so grateful to this practice because I feel like in these last several years, I first of all, I don't feel like I'm not sure what would have happened if I didn't have Lama Rod as my teacher. Um, I feel like he is showing us exactly how to navigate this time. I I I want to say I'm sorry I didn't say that. I'm talking to you from the ancestral land of the Shakori people, the Ino people, the Okinishi people. I'm on a land of genocide, a land where there was slavery, Durham, North Carolina. I really love that Adrienne invited her parents to be with us tonight, her mother, who her 90th birthday, and that Sharon invited her parents on their 65th wedding anniversary. And I feel like of the many, many gifts that Lama Rod has given me, a deep understanding and just complete confidence that the unseen world is with us. And I really love that this community is a place where we can invite our people in, our people who are, um, you know, would have been 90, who would have celebrated their 65th anniversary. And I remember recently Lamarad said something like, you want to be free, but you're not asking for help, you know? And tonight is a night where I just really want to ask for the help of your people in the unseen world, my people in the unseen world, all of those who have been our teachers, who have loved us or who have shown us the way, who we never knew. Um, Being a student of Lama Rod has, oh God, it taught me so much. I can't begin to talk about that except to say that I learned to ask for help um, from the unseen world, specifically for me, from Harriet Tubman, from Andre Leon Talley, um, from Bhagavan Nityananda. I'm calling in everyone, and I hope that you will call your people in from Jesus. Um, Lamarad tells this story about how his teacher, Norla Rinpoche, spoke to an elder, an indigenous elder in this country, who said, yes, there's been so much genocide. People tried to wipe us out, and they would have killed more of us, but our magic was too powerful. And I think about that so often. And I believe that now, when all of these forces of brutality and cruelty and indifference um, are arrayed against us, we must remember how powerful our magic is and call in all of that help. Um, and that's what this practice and being Lamarad's student in general is teaching me to be brave enough to meet this moment. Um, so there's a podcast I'm going to put in the link in the chat later that just came out, and it was made by a woman named Lynn Gerber, who is the reason why I met Lama Rod, kind of. And she was his teacher at Harvard, and she taught a course about AIDS, the years of AIDS, when some of us who are old enough to remember, um, people with AIDS were not being touched by their medical providers. They funeral homes refused to bury them. Churches said that they were going to hell because they were gay. And that was a time when I was a pastor of a church in New York City. And this podcast that I'm going to put in the chat later um, is a, about the ancestors of my generation. I mean, the people of my generation going through that time that was so scary when people all around us were getting very sick and dying, and we had to figure out, how do we navigate a friend who is just maybe an acquaintance who is suddenly in his apartment needing a diaper changed? I mean, these kinds of things. Like we had to really step up to take care of each other. How do we navigate someone who is dying in front of our eyes? How do we organize so that that person will not die alone? And that's what this podcast is about. And what I want to say about it is it brought out so much magic in our community. And living through those years in New York, much like this podcast is about living through those years in San Francisco, which were the epicenters of AIDS. And really, all the people around us, we were sick or dying. All the gay men around us. It was an incredibly intense time. But what I remember about that time is that there was a lot of joy and that we figured it out. Even though sometimes it was incredibly scary and we didn't think we were up to it, we were up to it. Somehow we remembered our magic. And that had everything to do with our connections with each other, our love for each other, and seeing the magic in one another. And I just want to say this especially to everyone here who identifies as queer in any way. Um, that was a time when we were being really trashed, in pretty much the same way that trans people are being hideously trashed right now by certain segments of our population. And what we realized is how magnificent we really are. And I feel that way about trans people, about non-binary people. I feel like y'all have just evolved past us, and some people aren't ready for you. But many of us are, and we're in awe of you, and we see your magic. Um, and queer people have always been on the forefront of civil rights struggles, always. And queer people are on the forefront now of people who are fighting for freedom for Palestine. And many of these people are the same people that are ICE verifiers and are training to try to protect our neighbors who are being targeted, racially profiled by ICE. And people, I just want to say, people are rising to the occasion. Gay, straight, old, young, people of all colors, languages. People are rising to the occasion in such a magnificent and magic way. We came here to do this. We came here to help. Um, and and I believe Lama Rod when he says we've done this before. And not only have we done this before, we've done this before with each other. And we've probably done it before with him. Actually, I think we have. you know, um, he keeps showing me the way. I just keep tuning in, and something that he says shows me the next little breadcrumb in this path. So over the weekend, ICE arrived in Charlotte, which is 2 hours away, and I went to a protest there, a big rally. And it was so beautiful. It was young people, it was people of all colors, it was old people, but it was mostly young people. And, you know, they're not having it. They're just not having it. And then the next day, I went to a training, and it was the second training like this. There were 250 people there learning how to be an ICE verifier, record what ICE is doing, and keep people safe. And uh, and that was the second time that there were 250 people in our pretty small city of Durham, North Carolina, taking this training. And there are trainings like this going on all over the country. And I put a notice about the training in my neighborhood listserv, and I got a note back. Well, it's illegal to get in the way of federal officers or something like that. I forget the exact words. Um, and the thing is, we're not the people doing the illegal, unconstitutional things. We're the people standing up for the rule of law. I mean, that's a very unfamiliar thing for me, you know, right? We're the people standing up for the rule of law. In my lifetime, being gay was still illegal. In my lifetime, most of the time I lived in New York City, people were hauled in and locked up because they weren't managing to wear 3 articles of clothing of the gender that they were born in. I mean, unbelievable. That actually was happening when I was a young person living in New York. That's why people were going to jail. Gay bars were raided. Gay churches were burned. Um, so I'm not used to being on the side of the law, right? But right now, I know that those of us that are facing into this onslaught of what in America, the United States, I'm sorry, the Department of Justice has become, we are standing up for our Constitution and the rule of law. And I also know that if by chance we get arrested for nonviolent protesting, where we absolutely do not interfere with what ICE is doing, we know better than that. Um, I know that I will feel very free because I answer to a higher power than these people who have these weapons and these bulletproof vests and this riot gear. So, this is the kind of ground that we nurture in this practice, that we are connected with the energy of magic, the energy of love, the energy of generosity, the energy of compassion and kindness, the energy of, no, you are not going to mess with my friend. I'm going to stand between me and them. The energy of, we are all connected. And if you hurt someone, you're hurting me because we are all one being. We are all one being trying to be free. So that's a big sermon, and I didn't mean to say all that, but that's what's happening right now. And and I was able to go to the retreat in England that Lama Rod did in the fall. And like really any time that I spend with him, even often online, there's a shift afterwards. Like I notice something. And I felt a really big shift and I didn't know what it was, but I realized I was able to cry, which was a really big thing. My grief is so close to the surface now that I have regained the ability to cry, which I lost for a while, which is a really wonderful gift. And in a meditation, because I was kind of questioning, well, what happened? What is this shift? Because I'm finding myself in a new place. And I got this image of like a lobster shedding its shell, some kind of crustacean, just oozing out of its shell. And I feel that way. I feel like I don't have protection that way. I don't have the shell. I'm just soft to all of this hideous violence that's happening in the world. And because of the practices that we do together here, and with Lama Rod all over the place, um, I have space to hold all of that. I mean, not all the time. I mean, you know, um, on my better days, yeah, my better moments. And yeah, so I don't even know how long I've been talking. A long time. Okay, we should practice. Thank you for listening to that. So so let's just practice. Let's just remember that we are always practicing just for one reason, which is to get free. And we want to get free so that we can help other people be free. Free in every way. Free to be safe and well and happy and have what we need, and also free so that we know that this is just temporary, that we are so much bigger than this, that we've been doing this for such a long time, and we have learned so much. And so we can do this, and we are not alone. Because getting free isn't really a solitary process, is it? Uh, so we're doing this to get free, and I want to invite us all to connect with the energy of gratitude and to connect with the land, with the earth, just touching the earth with our minds. And lately, I love to remember the mycelium, the roots of the mushrooms, and then the roots of the trees, how much life there is under the ground in the soil. And then can we connect with our seat, allowing the seat to rise, to meet us, to hold us? Connecting to the ground, the land, feeling how we are part of this earth, that we're not by ourselves. We're connected to all of this life and to the elements. And we reach out to the water, the waters, all the waters, the rocks, and just see if you can settle in your body, maybe feeling your body, allowing your weight to rest, allowing yourself to relax, held by the unseen beings that we've invited here, and held by each other. And also held by this strong intention to get free and help everyone else get free. And can we invite our benefactors, those who have loved us, those who have taught us, those who are teaching us now, or who have gone before, maybe a long time before, inviting them to come and be with us in this practice, in this life. in this moment of our lives, which for some of us is really challenging right now. Those of us struggling with health, with family, with money, with jobs, with disability, with housing insecurity, with any kind of illness, all of us are struggling with something. Can we feel the support of our benefactors? And how, when we call them, they come and sit with us. And some of us have maybe an, an idea of what that looks like. And some of us may have an idea of what that feels like. And some of us may have neither one of those things and not even know who to call, but that's okay. Just follow along, because we're all doing this together. And there's no right way to do it. We're just reaching for help. Because the thing is, the help is already there, waiting for us to reach. The help is already reaching for us. Always. And can we invite as one of our benefactors, Medicine Buddha? And, traditionally, Medicine Buddha is a blue Buddha sitting on an orange lotus wearing an orange robe, which I sort of love. I love both those colors. But you can just imagine Medicine Buddha as the healer or the activist, the organizer, the one who yearns so much for the world to be healed, for each of us to be healed, for the world to be in balance so that we can live in freedom. Just that energy of longing for that healing, for that justice, really. So we invite Medicine Buddha, and one of the ways we do that, and I'm going to just put both of the chats in at the same time, is that we chant this beautiful introductory chant, just inviting the presence of Medicine Buddha. And chants are spells. We are casting a spell. And we are doing it by opening our hearts to the possibility that there is a deeper and higher energy that is drawing us toward itself, helping us to be more free. So what we'll do is we'll chant Om and then Om Menla Sangye Kino Soha and then Om again. It's in the chat. And it means Medicine Buddha, I pray that you know and look upon me now. And just taking a few breaths and allowing ourselves to relax. And to surrender to this energy that we are reaching for, that is helping us to love, to be free, to have compassion on ourselves and others. Okay, when you're ready. Om. Om en la sange ki no soha. Om en la sange ki no soha. Om en la sange ki no soha. Oh. When we chant something like this and cast this spell, we can feel something shifting. And so we decide to enter more deeply into it. The energy of devotion, even if we don't know what we're devoted to, freedom is a good thing to be devoted to. The energy of devotion can sometimes fuel chanting in a way that can open something up in us, and I think even in the world around us. Collective practice is so powerful. So together we're going to chant the main mantra. Teata Om Bekitsi Bekitsi Maha Bekitsi Radza Zumungate Soha. Like this, I pray for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. And I release the energy of this prayer out to all the worlds, that all may be liberated. And I also am going to put, the Google Doc for the prayers in too, in case you haven't had a chance to put your prayer in. And then we will say the prayers together. I pray for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. And I release the energy of this prayer out to all the worlds, that we all may be liberated. Okay. Om Teata Om Bekitse Bekitse Maha Bekitse Raza Zumungate Soha. Teata Om Bekitse Bekitse Maha Bekitse Raza Zumungate Soha. Teata Om Bekitse Bekitse Maha Bekitse Raza Zumungate Soha. Teata Om Bekitse Bekitse Maha Bekitse Raza Zumungate Soha. Teata Om Bekitse Bekitse Maha Bekitse Raza Zumungate Soha. Teata Om Bekitse Bekitse Maha Bekitse Raza Zumungate Soha. Teata Om Bekitse Bekitse Maha Bekitse Raza Zumungate Soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. Te ata om begete, maha begete, raza zumungate soha. And turning our attention to the prayers, we invite all the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, all the spirit guides, all the people, seen and unseen, who are connected to us, who yearn for healing, for freedom, for the shift in this world to be accomplished so that everyone can be free and safe and happy. We invite all the unseen beings, the benefactors that are the entourages of each of us, the beings that we are accompanied by and that help us all the time. We invite them all to help us to accomplish these prayers. Prayers for Asaya for her heart, pain, and longevity. Please have her have the best life possible. Prayers for the success of the cortisone shots in my back to relieve pain indefinitely. Prayers for the healing of Colin, MD, Abby, and DJ. Prayers for my practice, dedication, and grace. Prayers for the healing of my body and spirit from an intense summer and fall. Prayers for the healing of the trauma in my family line. Prayers for peace within and without. Prayers for Dick and his lungs and long life. Prayers for liberation from the ghosts and attachments of the past. Prayers to lift my depression and open my next chapter. Prayers for refuge, protection, peace, and joy for my daughter and I, and all who love and support us. Prayers that I can overcome my depression and anxiety. Prayers for my sisters and brothers as they work through and live with health issues. Prayers for my safety and freedom. Prayers for Ocean and Dahlia's safety and wellness. Prayers that I can find a way through heartbreak that is compassionate and reparative. Prayers for K, C, and J to recover swiftly from their accidents and that there will be no long-lasting impact. A prayer for my mom that she recovers from her illness and finds peace with her situation and some joy in her day-to-day. A prayer for my four-leggeds. May their health be blessed. A prayer for MB and that her path going forward becomes clear for her. Support in my healing as I process and live with David's passing. A prayer for my shadow and its strength and lessons. Prayers for my cousin. May his heartbreak be balmed by the love and support of all the benevolent beings, seen and unseen. Prayers for everyone who feels afraid. May refuge and protection find and embrace us in loving arms. Prayers of gratitude for the elements and the deep wisdom on the land. May we touch into this and be grounded and nourished in our struggle for liberation. Prayers that all obstacles are removed and the path becomes clear so that I may get free and embody the Bodhisattva to help all beings get free. Prayers that I find creative ways to use my resources to bring about the most beneficent possible, most benefit possible for beings. May cosmic love be felt in everything I do. Prayers for M and R. May they experience healing and freedom. Prayers for all who are facing scarcity at this moment. May they be resourced. Prayers of protection and guidance related to swift recoveries from injuries and COVID. Prayers of protection from my siblings and their spouses. Prayers for C, F, and J, that they have all they need to stay protected and mentally and emotionally healthy. Prayers for A, for safe travels. Prayers for Z, to stay true to herself. Prayers for J, to stand tall. Prayers for A and her continued transformation and thriving. Prayers for all the youth with whom I work to find loving homes, feel safety, trust, love, and joy. Prayers for my ongoing clarity, healing, temperance, including financial clarity, healing, and temperance. Prayers for queer partnership and love to find me that is aligned with my values to accompany me during this time. Prayers to the land, our dear Mother God, and the magnificent trees she holds and offers us all and us to them. Prayers for the Charlotte, North Carolina communities and all communities in the United States to band together to protect the Latinx community there as ICE seizes the city. May love win. Prayers for E, protect him as he navigates safety in Chicago against ICE. Prayers for my family's safety in Miami. Prayers for M, L, L, I, K, J, and everyone else carrying new life. May they have easeful pregnancies. Prayers for the intensity of the past few weeks, for the changes, and for my strength in turning the poison into medicine. Prayers for M, for clarity and learning, to love, to process trauma and shame toward more aliveness and tenderness. Prayers for M and P, for long, healthy lives. Prayers for Jeffrey to find, create meaningful and lucrative employment immediately, and a good CBT therapist. Prayers for Lama Rod's protection and support for all his needs and wants. Prayers for the ability to be of service and help for my communities and for all oppressed communities in the USA while I live outside the USA. Prayers for me to stand in my power and open my heart to love. Prayers for my mama, sister, her wife, and 3 children, navigating healing childhood trauma. Prayers for my dog, Canelo, and his injured right rear leg. Prayers for T, recovering from shingles. Prayers for A, taking a leave of absence from work to take care of her mental health. Prayer for my Tia M, who is having medical issues with her heart. Prayers for my aunt, Diana. Prayers that we all find exactly the love we need. Prayers for Patrick, my brother, strength during his illness. Prayer for myself to show my softness and my fierce protectiveness of those who need my support. Prayers for myself that I can integrate the compassion and boundaries I need to show up fully to my work. Prayers that I can cultivate a daily rhythm that holds me fully and supports me to hold my community. Prayers for dear Megan, may she be healed fully and may her light shine brightly. I ask a prayer for my mom, Elaine Antoinette, to be protected against any curses or attacks on her mind, body, and spirit, and to be returned to those who generated those attacks. Prayers for Rebecca as she undergoes an intensive surgery in her intestine, that she may heal physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Prayers that T will learn that he is lovable and brings beauty to this world. May he be peaceful and gain strength to untether himself from all addiction. May every being be treated with kindness, and may we recognize that we are all in this together. Prayers for all who are struggling to breathe, for the undrowned, and for the ocean. May breath come easily and freely once more. Prayers that our human family find healing through the self-centered domination, and may we find our way back to our intricate connection and interdependence. Prayers for my mother, her health, and a release from constant pain and gain for health all around. We pray for everyone who has not written down their prayers, made the prayers in their hearts, the longing in their hearts be accomplished. I lift up people who are following the bidding of those who command them to be brutal, and those who are being manipulated into apathy, indifference, cruelty, bigotry. I pray for everyone who is in danger of being racially profiled. I pray for all of our trans siblings. I pray for all of the immigrants who are terrorized right now in so many communities. And I lift up those who are terrorizing them. May they connect to their humanness their human beingness and understand the truth of who they are and who we all are. We pray, so grateful for all the beings who hear these prayers with so much love and who long with us for freedom, for all beings to be safe and happy and free. We're going to chant a little bit more, just a little bit, because this chant is so filled with that longing. Om Teata Om Begedze Begedze Maha Begedze Raza Zumungate Soha Teata Om Begedze Begedze Maha Begedze Raza Zumungate Soha Teata Om Begedze Begedze Maha Begedze Raza Zumungate Soha Teata Om Begedze Begedze Maha Begedze Raza Zumungate Soha Teata Om Begedze Begedze Maha Begedze Raza Zumungate Soha Teata Om Begedze Begedze Maha Begedze Raza Zumungate Soha. We pray and long for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. And we release the energy of this prayer out into all the worlds so that we all, everywhere, may be liberated. Just feeling the energy of that chant for a moment. Let it settle in our bodies. And to close, we're, as always, going to be saying the Shantideva prayer. And, when we first started Medicine Buddha, I was doing tech by myself and we got Zoom bombed. So I'm extremely paranoid now. And so I have to restore your ability to unmute yourself because I took it away. But I would love for you to, I'm just going to ask three of you to please lead us in saying this prayer. Ezra, if you could say the first one, and Anne the second one, and two the third time. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring a further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space.
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space.
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring a further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Um, if if this practice supports you, as always, drop whatever you can, any amount, or if you can't, that's fine, into the link on Lama Rod's website, the donate part. But also, I'm adding the link to the podcast about this church in San Francisco. It's quite beautiful, and I feel like young queer people. I hope that you can feel the strength of your ancestors. All of these men who died of AIDS, uh, who were so brave, and so magical, and left us so much to go on now. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As always, this is such a beautiful community. I'm always so moved by you and strengthened by seeing you and feeling you, and being part of this community. Lama Rod will be back next week, and I hope if you're here for the first time, you come back, and I hope that we all see each other next week. Please take good care. Please be so kind to yourself. Be so kind to yourself. This is such a hard time. If you're having a hard time, it's not you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're doing great. Just showing up,